At my sister's extravagant party, I received a text from Dad. Leave now. Don't look at them. Don't talk. I walked out. By morning, the police were at their home. Mom screamed, "You're ruining everything." I just smiled. I had recorded every word.
Hey, Reddit.
My sister's party wasn't just extravagant. It was the kind of event where everyone pretended their lives were perfect. Fairy lights everywhere, champagne fountains, $500 dresses swaying around like it was nothing. And I was just trying to blend in. I stood by the wall, holding a drink I hadn't touched, watching my sister unwrap a designer handbag while everyone clapped like seals. That's when my phone buzzed. Dad, leave now. Don't look at them. Don't speak. My stomach dropped. I stared at the message, wondering if it was a mistake. Another text came immediately. Go. Don't ask questions. I didn't hesitate. When Dad used that tone, something was wrong. I slipped out quietly, the loud music fading behind me as I stepped into the chilly night. I sat in my car, breathing hard, waiting for his call. Instead, another message arrived. Go home. Park across the street. Windows open. Turn on recording. Recording. My fingers trembled as I typed. Dad, what's happening? He called right away, whispering. Please, he said, his voice shaky in a way I'd never heard before. Just do what I said. Record everything. Don't talk to your mom. Don't talk to your sister. Then he hung up. My heart raced as I drove back toward the house. I didn't understand anything, only that whatever was happening, I was suddenly involved. At home, the upstairs window was cracked open just like he said. I slipped inside, phone recording, and quietly made my way to the stairs. Below me, voices murmured, my mom, my sister, 2 officers. What's this about? My sister asked, her voice trembling. One officer answered calmly, we have questions regarding suspicious transfers linked to your accounts. My mother laughed, high-pitched and forced. That must be a mistake. We're very careful with our finances. But Dad's voice, tired and defeated, said something I never expected. It's not a mistake. Everything froze in my chest. The officer pulled out papers. We need statements from everyone in the house. Anything you say can help clarify the situation. My sister gasped. Mom tried to force a smile. Dad just stared at the floor. I instinctively covered my mouth, my hand trembling over the record button. An hour passed. The officers asked questions. My mother dodged them. My sister cried. Dad answered slowly, like he had been carrying something too heavy for too long. When the police finally left, the silence in the house was suffocating. I walked downstairs. My parents turned to me, as if they had seen a ghost. Mom's face twisted first. You left, she screamed. You walked out of your sister's party and made us look like fools. I blinked. She wasn't angry about the police. She was angry with me. Dad tried to calm her, but she shoved him aside. You always ruin everything, she snapped. Always at the worst time. My sister joined in, mascara streaked. Why couldn't you just stay at the party? Why did you leave us when everything fell apart? Everything inside me snapped into place. I pulled out my phone. You told me to leave, I said to Dad quietly. You told me to record. I did what you asked. Mom lunged toward me. You recorded what? I didn't answer. I just hit play. Her voice filled the room, crystal clear. Just use the shell account. They won't notice for months. My sister's voice followed. Are you sure? What if someone checks? Dad's voice was broken. We don't have a choice. My mother froze. Her eyes widened like someone had ripped the oxygen from the room. Neighbors standing on the street turned toward the sound. What have you done? My mother whispered, stepping back. You're destroying this family. I looked her straight in the eyes. No, I said softly. You did. She tried to grab my phone. I stepped away. You told me to leave, I said to Dad again. You warned me. You knew this was coming. My sister covered her mouth, shaking. Dad looked like he might collapse. Mom screamed again, her voice shrill. Turn it off. Turn it off. I didn't. I let it play until the last second, until her own words condemned her. Just then, my phone buzzed. Unknown number. I answered, "Hello." A calm voice replied, "This is Detective Harris. We'd like you to bring that recording to the station." I glanced at my family, pale, trembling, collapsing under their own lies. "Of course," I said. My mother begged. My sister cried. Dad closed his eyes, defeated. I turned my back and walked toward the door, phone in hand. Mom screamed one last time, "You're tearing this family apart." I didn't look back. At the doorway, I paused and whispered, "If the truth destroys you, maybe you were already broken." I stepped outside. The morning sun hit my face, and for the first time in years, I smiled. 3 months have passed since that morning I walked away from my family's house with a recording that would turn all our lives upside down. 3 months since my mother screamed that I was destroying everything while standing in the middle of the lies they built. And 3 months since I finally stopped protecting people who never protected me. The detective who called that morning wasn't bluffing. He had already heard parts of the recording. My dad must have told them I had it. When I arrived at the station, they didn't treat me like a suspect. They treated me like a witness. A key witness. "Take your time," Detective Harris said gently. "We need to know exactly what happened." So I told him every detail: my sister's extravagant party, my dad's frantic text, the officers arriving at the house, my mom's whispered instructions about moving funds, the shell accounts, the fake transactions, the sudden panic when the police showed up. I played the recording. The room went completely still. Then the detective said something I'll never forget. "This isn't just family drama. This is a full financial crime case." When I walked out of that building, my knees felt weak. The truth wasn't just messy. It was enormous. And for the first time in my life, none of it was my fault. 2 weeks after my statement, the first charge hit. Not against my mom, not against my sister, but against my dad. He was charged with fraudulent account manipulation and misuse of business funds. When the news broke, my mother left me 10 voicemails in 2 hours. "How could you? He's your father. You said nothing would happen. You're a monster." I didn't respond because she knew the truth. Her own words were the evidence. Her panic wasn't love, it was guilt. A month later, my sister was charged as well: accessory to fraudulent transactions, false reporting on taxes, aiding in transferring funds through secondary accounts. Her perfect life shattered overnight. The trip to Paris canceled, her friends gone, her boyfriend vanished. She texted me once, "Why did you do this to me? You're my sister." I replied, "Sisters don't drag each other into crimes." She didn't respond. But the biggest shock came from my dad. Not what he did, but what he said. One morning, he called me from an unknown number. His voice was shaky. "I'm sorry," he whispered. "I tried to fix things before they spiraled. I told you to leave the party because I didn't want you involved." My throat tightened. "Then why tell me to record?" I asked. His answer broke something inside me. "Because I knew the truth would only come out if someone besides me had proof, and you were the only one who still saw things clearly." I sat in silence. For years, I thought he never trusted me. Maybe the truth was worse: he trusted me too late. Before hanging up, he said, "Whatever happens next doesn't belong to you. Don't carry our mistakes." I didn't know how to respond, so I didn't. Weeks turned into months, and court dates were set. My mother tried everything: guilt, manipulation, blame, denial, crying, shouting, but nothing could erase her own words captured on my phone. At the preliminary hearing, when the prosecution played the part where she said, "Just run it through the shell account," she put her face in her hands like it was someone else's voice. My sister sobbed quietly. My dad just stared straight ahead, accepting whatever was coming. I sat in the back row, calm, breathing evenly because the truth didn't scare me. It freed me. After the hearing, something unexpected happened. My attorney approached me and said, "You know, without your recording, this case might never have been uncovered." I wasn't sure how to feel about that: proud, sad, guilty. But deep down, I knew the truth. I didn't destroy anything. I exposed what was already rotten. About a month later, on a quiet evening, my dad sent me a letter from the county facility. Inside, in shaky handwriting, he wrote, "I'm proud that you told the truth. I'm sorry I didn't protect you sooner." My mother, on the other hand, posted online that I betrayed the family, but everyone knew the truth now. Nobody believed her. My sister moved in with my aunt and hasn't spoken to me since. Maybe she will someday. Maybe she won't. But here's the thing. For the first time in my life, I'm not living in their shadows or their lies. I'm living in the truth. The recording that tore my family apart is still on my phone. Not because I want to relive it, but because it reminds me of something powerful. The moment I finally chose myself, not them, not their expectations, not their guilt, myself. The girl who walked out of that lavish party because her dad told her to run wasn't weak. She was stepping into something she didn't understand yet. She was stepping into her own strength. And now, every time someone says I destroyed my family, I simply smile and say, no, I stopped them from destroying themselves.